What's up, Capstone family? This is Ed Drummond of Capstone Realty coming at you on this Friday, the 28th of May. We are getting ready for Memorial Day. It's going to be a hot one and looking forward to it. I hope you are as well. So I wanted to bring a couple things today. Looking at the market, I've been having a lot of conversations with people about, what the market looks like moving forward. And nobody's got a crystal ball right now, but people are trying to figure out, hey, what's going to happen? People are still concerned that there's going to be some sort of collapse in the market. And at the end of the day, I don't believe that that's going to happen at all. Looking at the demand for housing, it's at such a crazy pace that at some point we're gonna see a lull in this appreciation. Boom. I mean, the numbers have continued to go through the roof over the last few weeks. Every week that I put one of these together, I'm just shocked by another listing that we're putting on the market that's, something random is happening. This week, what we found interesting is that there are a lot of buyers, and market wide, there's a lot of buyers who are getting under contract and backing out of contracts. It's higher right now than it's been in the past, and the reason for that that we're seeing personally is buyers agents are getting their clients under contract with the buyers not seeing the property. So interestingly, you'll have them back out for the smallest things, or expectations aren't set up appropriately when it comes to the inspection period. Buyers are grossly overpaying for homes. It's in this market right now in some situations, and they want to make sure that the house is better than it might be, right? Especially if they really feel that they're overpaying. On the flip side of that, we have the appraisal issues where, even this week we had a really bad appraisal come back on one of our listings, and the appraisal was in fact just not strong, because, you wait a week until after the appraisal comes back, you have new comps, and legit, the comps were probably 20,000 less, or the appraisal was like 20,000 less than where the market should have been for this particular property. So it's just waiting out the market, seeing what happens. I'm joking with most of you on the phone right now, where hey, if you have to wait another week, that's not a big deal, because things will just continue to increase, and I don't know how long that's going to go on, but at least for now. For those of you that have property here in the Phoenix area, you're still in a really good place. A couple things. Condos, warrantable versus non-warrantable condos. If you've got condos here in the Valley and there's an opportunity for you to potentially reinvest that money, or you're thinking that this isn't going to be a long-term play, find out what your exit strategy could be with that property. We are dealing more now with non-warrantable condos where investment companies or let's say just investors have a substantial stake in the condo project as a whole. Maybe more than 51% of the units are owned by investors. Well, that makes it, in some situations, it makes it a non-warrantable condo where Fannie Mae, conventional financing won't work, because they don't want to lend on a product like that seems like, may not be the best investment. Why won't it be a best investment? Situations happening right now at City on Camelback. This is a project that we used to sell in the past. We had a relationship with a hedge fund there that had come in and was selling those properties. They also owned 56% of them. They then sold to another hedge fund. That hedge fund has since come in and started acquiring properties. One of our owners, we actually sold their property to this hedge fund to get them out of it, because the writing was on the wall for what was happening. They're acquiring all these doors. Once they get to 80% ownership, they can then force the rest of the owners to sell that condo, right? And that's what they're doing. It's crazy. I heard it on the radio about a week and a half ago, and looked at that situation and went, oh my gosh, that was City. We literally witnessed that happening firsthand. So those things do happen. So if you have a condo, make sure that you're paying attention to those types of things, and just another thing to look out for. It doesn't happen very often, but it will start happening more as apartment values are just through the roof, and high-end investors can't find more places to put the money. Another thing that we've got right now, what's the market looking like? What we see is new home starts right now, and builders, if you look at, I've got a building permits on the azeconomy.org website. There is a graph that shows new private building permits for here in Arizona. And if you look at those trends and you see what happens at COVID, it plummeted, of course, and now it's correcting and it's going back up. That correction has been going on since 2010, but we're still nowhere near the peak of building permits during 2004. We're about half of what they were at 2004, which was the very highest we've seen. But I mean, leading into that, we're really barely in the range of where we were 2002, 2001. So knowing that those are the numbers that we're looking at, we've still got 2 years of build time after that happens for those houses to be built. We need more inventory right now, and until all these houses start really getting done, we're going to be in this situation. Even if they start, increasing interest rates to hedge against inflation, it's like, we've got to figure out where people are going to be housed. Until that happens, prices are still going to go up, rents are still going to go up. If you've got properties that are coming up on the market or renewals for rent, definitely reach out to us, because you should be increasing your rents. The last thing you want to do, like I was mentioning to a client today, I picked up a place last year, was rented out at $1,300 a month. The tenant moved out here, or they're planning on moving out here this month. Rents jumped up $1,700 a month, and we got an offer before it even went on the market because there's just nothing in that particular area. And it's like, oh no, like that's a completely different tenant now that's going into that property. So when you have rentals where the values are going up that high, it makes more sense for you to at least incrementally give that little bit of a jump to your tenant. So at the point where you decide to sell, or you decide that maybe you want to rehab the property and move them, that they're not just completely shocked that it's a completely different price point for them and they can no longer live in that neighborhood. Hope this information is helpful. We definitely are in the middle of the beginning of summertime, how we're seeing the market pick up. This is when we're the busiest. It's pretty nuts right now, but we appreciate all the support, and any feedback that you need or you'd like, please let us know. And I hope you have a great Memorial Day weekend, and subscribe if you haven't. Thanks.